um ex-membro de uma gangue chamado Dominic Monroe, que foi baleado 2 vezes e considerado clinicamente morto durante mais de 3 minutos em 2009, conta a sua poderosa história de ter experimentado um inferno enquanto estava inconsciente.
I was medically dead for 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
O que ele viu é algo que as pessoas precisam de ouvir.
I joined the gang at a very young age, between the age of 12 and 13. I had a rough life. Chicago was a hard place to grow up. Unfortunately, I took that route. Years have passed, and I pretty much mastered the craft, so to speak, of the streets. Give my life to, I consider them like a family to me. And come to find out, they stabbed me in the back and set me up to get me killed. Hey, wait a minute, something is not right, and I had a weird feeling in my gut about this guy. All of a sudden, I looked up, and the guy looked at me with a smirk, and he just kind of like evil grin, like, I got you. It was just like it was so evil, but I just remember everything moving in slow motion, and I fell back. This kind of darkness is not a darkness that's here on earth. This darkness is alive. So as I'm falling, I knew this was hell, and then I heard the screams of the people.
Apesar de muitas alegadas experiências de quase morte serem falsas e enganadoras, e sabemos que por apresentarem mensagens de salvação falsas e antibíblicas, acreditamos que esta experiência foi verdadeira e que Deus permitiu que ele a tivesse.
And the first thing I noticed were these demons, things. They're the most grotesque, smelliest. Hollywood can't even get close to how these things look.
Dominic diz que, ao descer ao inferno, ele caiu no que era um imenso abismo.
But the weirdest part was, when I fell backwards, I started instantly falling forward. I was falling down face forward as I fell backwards. That was the weirdest part. That's the spiritual aspect of it. But as I'm falling, I don't even know how to measure it, They say the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. It was faster than that.
À medida que caía, ele se sentia despojado de tudo o que é bom. Tudo o que as pessoas consideram garantido, como esperança, amor, etc. Já que tudo isso vem de Deus. Tiago 1,17. Toda a dádiva é excelente, todo o dom perfeito vem do alto e desce do Pai das luzes, no qual não há mudança nem sombra de vicissitude. Dominic foi despojado de tudo isso.
But the further I'm going down, just falling and falling, the more and more I felt like I was getting stripped of everything. I knew I was getting stripped of the things that God gave me that I took for granted, like hope, love, fellowship, patience, everything. The further I was falling down fast, everything was getting stripped from me, and I was getting more and more afraid. But this is a different type of fear.
Ele fala do fedor do inferno, que é tão ruim que ele não consegue descrever completamente.
But as I'm falling, I'm feeling more and more frightening. I started hearing, the first thing I noticed was laughter around me. As I'm falling, it was like this laughter, and it was like these giggling little but the laugh itself, they were laughing, I felt it. It was a different type of laugh. It was a demonic hatred. Like, I just knew whatever was laughing at me hated me more than, like, with anything you can even describe. But as I'm falling, I hear this laughter. The second thing that caught my attention was this horrible smell. But I smelled the smell, and the smell, I can even just talking about it right now. So I'm sorry if I pause a little bit, because this a lot of this comes back to me, and I still get a little emotional. But the smell alone is so bad, like, I can't even describe it. There's nothing. You can have 1,000 corpses and dead animals and whatever you want to put into the mush. It smells like Febreze compared to what I smell.
Isto corresponde a outras pessoas que tiveram experiências do inferno. São Beda, o Venerável, um monge beneditino que viveu no século VIII, escreveu sobre a experiência de Drythian, um homem que viu o inferno durante uma experiência de quase morte por volta do ano 696. Drythian acabou por se tornar um monge, mas descreveu o inferno como tendo, abre aspas, um fedor incomparável.
So as I'm falling, then I noticed a little light, and it was so small, it was a pinpoint of light, and I heard, and as I'm falling, it's getting bigger and bigger, and then that's when it hit me. I knew, and I thought it was a fairy tale. I'm not gonna lie, I just thought hell was a fairy tale. I thought it was a place of fantasy. I thought it was a scare tactic used by religions. I knew, I said, I'm going to hell. See, time doesn't exist over in eternity the way it exists here. So all the time that I'm falling, people say, how would you have time? Time doesn't exist the way you can't even fathom it. Eternity, it has no time. So as I'm falling, I knew this was hell. And then I heard the screams of the people. The screams and the yells of while as I'm falling in this portal, may I call it the portal, was getting bigger. You can just hear, and I knew it had to be billions, hundreds of millions of billions of people down there. I mean, screaming, and then their screams are gut-wrenching. The same way I heard those demonic laughs, I can feel it in my gut and feel it in my soul. Those screams were worse because it was suffering. It was blasphemous things being yelled. It was just horrible, you know, people begging for one more chance. I mean, the thing is, when you're in the spirit, you can hear 1,000 noises at one time, but you can decipher and know each one, whether they're playing simultaneously or not. You can distinctively know and hear everything.
Ele descreve o calor do inferno.
But as I fall and I see this portal, it looked like an old cave, like I'm entering an old cave system. Okay, and then that's when I felt the heat. See, now I'm looking back on it. It probably already was hot when I got closer to it, but I was so shocked and so terrified by everything else, I didn't pay attention to the heat until I actually got into the first portion of the portal. And then that's when the heat hit me. On top of everything, it was just a bombardment of everything. And you know, here on earth, in our physical bodies, we feel things separately, meaning like, you know, our nervous system. So if you get poked in your back, you get punched or something like that, you can feel it just kind of in that spot. But no, there you feel it all simultaneously at one time. Pain, everything. It's your whole body. But when I felt this heat, it's a different fabric. It's a different fabric of heat. It's not like how you burn your finger here. It's a spiritual component to it because it is beyond. It's beyond. I mean, just say if I wanted to put it on a temperature scale, I would say 12,000 degrees and up.
Santo Afonso afirmou, abre aspas, há numerosos textos nas Sagradas Escrituras que demonstram que o fogo do inferno é um fogo verdadeiro, material e corpóreo. Lemos, por exemplo, no livro de Deuteronômio, acendeu-se o fogo da minha cólera, e arderá até o mais profundo dos infernos. E no livro de Jó, um fogo que não se acende o devorará, revelando que esse fogo do inferno não precisa ser alimentado, mas uma vez aceso por Deus, queima eternamente. Há várias passagens no livro de Isaías que se referem a esse fogo do inferno. Qual de vós poderá habitar num fogo devorador? Qual de vós poderá habitar entre as chamas eternas? O seu verme não morrerá e o seu fogo não se extinguirá, e a sua vista será um objeto de horror para todo o mundo. Ele enviará fogo e vermes sobre as suas carnes, para arderem e para sentirem este suplício eternamente. Judite 16:21. O inferno é um fogo de um tipo específico, um fogo preparado expressamente para vingar as injúrias que o pecado fez a Deus por meio dos prazeres carnais. Pois, como o livro de Eclesiástico afirma, a carne do ímpio será castigada com o fogo e com o verme.
But as I'm falling, and I enter this portal, and I feel the heat, I'm hearing the yells, it's like just overwhelming. And at this time, by the time I got to the bottom, I just knew I was in hell, and I knew I was going to hell. But once I passed the portal, all I remember is when I hit the bottom. I didn't feel anything when I first hit. So I'm trying to think, you know, I was asking, was it the Lord that softened the blow when I first hit? But when I fell and I raised my eyes, it felt like I had no strength. I felt like I hadn't eaten for like months. I couldn't breathe. It was horrible. Just a feeling of just nothing. And then, but the only thing that kept coming to my mind was, and I know the Lord did this purposely, was thinking of everything that I took for granted. Movement, a drink of water, you know, just to have the ability to move my arms, just freely, the ability to breathe, all the things that we take for granted. It was going through my mind. I knew it came from God. I just, like, you know, and I knew I took it for granted.
Atos 17:24-25. Deus que fez o mundo e tudo o que nele há, Ele que dá a todos a vida, a respiração e todas as coisas.
And there, first thing is I look over. See, it was dark, but I'm trying to, you know, wonder if the Lord was making me be able to see. But the flames itself were emitting so high from these pews, like these vents from the rocks.
Sua declaração de que as chamas irrompem no alto do inferno corresponde a várias visões do inferno. Por exemplo, Drythian, que viu o inferno, afirmou, abre aspas, como aquelas mesmas ondas de fogo, sem pausa, em um momento voavam para cima e em outro caíam de volta ao fundo do abismo. Vi que os cumes de todas as chamas, quando subiam, estavam cheios de espíritos de homens, como faíscas voando para cima com a fumaça. Eles às vezes eram lançados para o alto, e novamente, quando os vapores do fogo caíam, eles desciam para as profundezas abaixo. Fecha aspas. As crianças de Fátima tiveram uma visão do inferno pela Santíssima Virgem Maria em 13 de julho de 1917, que foi seguida pelo famoso Milagre de Fátima em 13 de outubro de 1917. Em sua visão do inferno, elas viram, abre aspas, chamas desse imenso incêndio, arrastada pelas labaredas a espalhar nuvens de fumaça, tombando de todos os lados como fagulhas de um grande braseiro, fecha aspas. Dominic também descreve o inferno como sendo um lugar na Terra, mas em uma dimensão diferente.
And that's another thing too I want to add. I don't want to move too fast, but one thing I do want to add. For some reason, I knew I was still here on Earth. I still knew I wasn't in outer space somewhere. I wasn't under space. I was in a different dimension, but I was still on Earth. I knew that. I knew it's here on Earth. So the Lord is right. Hell is a place on Earth. The scriptures are right. It is here on Earth. It's just a different dimension.
Isso também corresponde à visão das crianças de Fátima, que viram o inferno quando raios de luz pareciam penetrar na terra. Abre aspas. Esse raio de luz alcançava as profundezas da terra. Era um mar de fogo. Mergulhados nele estavam as almas condenadas e os demônios, como se fossem carvões incandescentes, transparentes, pretos ou cor de bronze, formas humanas a esvoaçar nas chamas desse imenso incêndio. Fecha aspas. Santo Afonso afirmou: Deus estabeleceu um lugar definido para os demônios e os réprobos, como se deduz de vários textos da Sagrada Escritura. São Jerônimo deduz este fato especificamente de uma passagem do Livro dos Números. Aqui é descrito o destino de Datã e Abirom, que foram precipitados no inferno, caindo num abismo que se abriu sob os seus pés. Ao mesmo tempo, uma grande chama irrompeu da terra e matou 250 homens que eram cúmplices do seu pecado. Além disso, em muitas passagens da Sagrada Escritura, a palavra descer é usada em referência ao inferno, indicando que o inferno está situado nas entranhas da terra. Fecha aspas.
So as I'm looking around and I'm just already, I see when the flames, they come up and then you can see the illumination from the flames, you can see. And the first thing I noticed were these demons, things. They're the most grotesque, smelliest. Hollywood can't even get close to how these things look. They're so deformed. They had legs and twisted arms, but they had a reptilian look, a reptile look to them. And their eyes were glowing yellow. Some of them eyes were red. Some of them were like 13 feet tall. Some of them were this big. They're everywhere. And it's just bugs, there's spiders, there's just everything. But what really caught my attention was these pits everywhere. And this one demon glanced at me and he started laughing. But down in the pits were just people.
As suas descrições da aparência horrível, grotesca e deformada dos demônios no inferno correspondem notavelmente a outras visões. Por exemplo, a visão de Fátima afirma, abre aspas, os demônios se distinguiam por formas asquerosas de animais medonhos e desconhecidos. Fecha aspas. São João Bosco, que morreu em 1888, teve uma famosa visão do inferno. Ele descreveu ter visto um monstro hediondo lá. Abre aspas. Continuei a puxar, e passado muito tempo, surgiu um monstro enorme e hediondo, agarrado a uma corda a qual estavam ligadas todas aquelas armadilhas. Fecha aspas. Além disso, a visão de Tyndale foi um escrito popular na Idade Média. É uma história de um cavaleiro irlandês que ficou inconsciente durante 3 dias, período do qual um anjo guiou a sua alma através do céu e do inferno, e ele experimentou os tormentos dos condenados. Tyndale também descreveu os demônios como sendo criaturas assustadoras e desconhecidas. Abre aspas. Os seus corpos eram como dragões, as suas caudas eram como escorpiões. Os seus dentes eram afiados, as suas asas eram longas e largas. Eles tinham presas grandes e fortes. Fecha aspas.
But down in the pits were just people. Okay, yeah, I mean, just people. But then I thought it was just one pit. As you really look around and the flames illuminate all of the space around, there's, I would say, hundreds of thousands of pits. And then within each pit are thousands of people. Okay, and then around the pits, you have nothing but these grotesque demon reptilian or reptile-like things, making sure they don't crawl out. It was horrible. You have people who look like bone. I would say they look like bones. Some of them were bones, but actually flesh hanging off, which is incomprehensible to some people to even imagine how, you know, but the things that I saw and the tortures that I saw is that you regenerate. So just say if your arm falls off, it'll grow right back so you can get tortured again. It's a place of pure torture, like torture. Hell is no relief. There's nothing.
Isaías 66:24. O seu verme não morrerá e o seu fogo não se extinguirá.
As I'm looking at this one demon, he was about 8 feet tall. He looked at me and laughed. And then all I remember was these thousands of maggots, worms, and they're like thick. They're thick. They're thick as soda cans. Okay, they're not like regular maggots here in this dimension. They are thick and they're big, and they started to chew at my feet. And then once it was a few of them, when I looked down, there was hundreds of them. They started to make a mound around me, up to my knees.
São João Bosco, que teve uma visão do inferno, descreveu algo semelhante. Abre aspas. Aproximei-me deles e reparei que estavam todos cobertos de vermes e parasitas, que lhes roíam os órgãos vitais, o coração, os olhos, as mãos, as pernas e todo o corpo de uma forma tão feroz que não é possível descrever. Fecha aspas.
But that was the least of my worries, because I felt getting a hand picked me up from the back of my head, and it flung me. It flew. Now, as I flew, okay. Now remember, you have no energy. You have no. There's no nothing. Even just when I laid down, I couldn't get back up. But now I'm realizing, you know, in hindsight, that the Lord was with me, because a lot of these demons, they wanted to attack me. They wanted to rip me apart, and I could just feel the hatred that they have for mankind, the hatred that they have for us. It is beyond anything. It is beyond, and you can feel it's ancient, and you can feel it is powerful. It is power in their hate. It is so powerful. Yeah. One second, okay.
O capítulo 12 do Apocalipse fala da antiga guerra entre São Miguel e os anjos caídos, que resultou na expulsão desses anjos caídos, ou seja, os demônios, do céu. Em João 8,44, o Senhor Jesus Cristo refere-se a Satanás como um assassino desde o princípio. Satanás foi um antigo homicida. 1 João 3,15 relaciona o ódio com o homicídio. Portanto, os demônios têm um ódio antigo por Deus e pela humanidade.
The hatred that they have for mankind, the hatred that they have for us, it is beyond anything. It is beyond, and you can feel it's ancient, and you can feel it is powerful. It is power in their hate.
I always try to describe people that the hate that these demonic things, that these demonic beings have for us, it is so powerful. Just the hate alone. If that's how I know there's something holding it back. Even here on earth, when they harass us and terrorize us, there's got to be some kind of shield holding back that hatred, because just the vibration from the hate alone is so powerful. It is ancient, it's powerful, it is dark, it is gripping. They hate us. But then all of a sudden I saw like pits, and the only way I can see is because the illumination of these pits were flaming. It was like just bursting like little furnaces. And then that's how I can see. But then what terrified me the most, okay, is the fact that as I'm laying there, the pits, when they were illuminating the space that I was in, I looked, you saw, I mean, thousands, as far as your eye can see, of these pits. And there were people in these pits, okay? Some of them were skeletal, some of them had flesh hanging off of them, and they were like in pools of lava. But when I really looked, there were these demons, creatures, reptile-looking things. Some of them were huge. Some of them, I would just guesstimate them to say 13 feet tall, 12 feet tall. Some of them were small. Some of them were like 3 feet tall. They were just so grotesque, and there were so many of them standing around the pits while people were trying to crawl out the pits. They were throwing them back in. They had like these rusty, everything looks ancient there too, as far as the tools they were using. I'm gonna describe that soon enough. But they would try to get out, and they were kicking them in, and they were laughing and just throwing these people back in these pits. I mean, as far as your eye can see, I mean, and there's people screaming and yelling and horror, like it is indescribable.
And that's when I think the Lord showed me it was the whole hell of this section, because hell has sections. I'm going to explain that soon. It has many sections. It was illuminated for me where I can just see everything. And when I tell you the tortures, wow, I mean, it is beyond the stretch of your imagination.
Sua declaração de que o inferno tem seções corresponde à visão de São João Bosco, na qual ele viu, abre aspas, instantaneamente 1000 portais interiores abriram-se com um clamor ensurdecedor, fecha aspas.
One thing that I noticed when you're in hell and when you're eternity in a spirit body, you can look at a person inside hell and you know why they're there. You instantaneously know, you know why that person is there. I've seen people there for unforgiveness. I've seen people there who thought they were the best in the church, saying, why did you do this to me? I've seen pastors there. I've seen even some preteens in hell. I've seen a lot of people who think they're doing the right thing, but they're no. Like, for example, the first lady who I saw getting tortured individually, not the people in the pits. There were 2 demons, and they were laughing, these reptile things, and they had her mouth, and they stretched her mouth so far back, like to rip her jaws open, and they were pouring lava down her throat and sticking her throat with spears and just like these old ancient looking rusty daggers, and they were getting a kick, and it was horrible. But then the fact is, she turned the bone, she was breaking up, and then she would rejuvenate, and they'll do it all over again and over again and over. And they were taking turns. They were inviting other demonic spirits. They were laughing. They were having fun torturing this lady. And when I looked, and I really knew, this has to be the Lord, I already knew why she was there. She was there because not only was she a gossiper, she was gossiping about people. She got many people life turned because of her tongue, and she was an alcoholic.
Com relação aos fofoqueiros e caluniadores, Êxodo 23:1 afirma: Não admitirás palavra de mentira contra o próximo, nem cederás a tua mão para dizeres um falso testemunho a favor do ímpio. Tiago 1:26. Se alguém, pois, julga que é religioso, não refreando a sua língua, mas seduzindo o seu coração, a sua religião é vã. Com relação aos bêbados e outros que morrem em estado de pecado mortal, 1 Coríntios 6 diz, abre aspas, porventura não sabeis que os injustos não possuirão o reino de Deus? Não vos enganeis, nem os impúdicos, nem os idólatras, nem os adúlteros, nem os efeminados, nem os sodomitas, nem os ladrões, nem os avarentos, nem os que se dão à embriaguez, nem os maldizentes, nem os salteadores possuirão o reino de Deus. Fecha aspas. Essa é a revelação divina. Dominic também descreve o fato de ver os fornicadores e os que assistem à pornografia, os que se masturbam, cometem adultério e outros pecados sexuais, passando pelo lago de fogo no inferno.
And I'm starting to, there was a theme in hell I started to notice because people commit a lot of sins on a wide spectrum. But the one that sticks out the most is the one that's going to rectify, that you're going to get inside hell. So they say, you know, a person who is promiscuous, and that's another one. I'm going to keep it not explicit, but I saw a young lady in hell. There were demons literally taking turns having sex with this one. And when I say it's not regular sexual intercourse, it was beyond mine. I mean, I can't say too much to describe, but all I can say is that she was very promiscuous when she was here on this earth, and they were torturing her in ways that you can't even imagine.
But then the river of lava started to speed up, and it's like, and it started coming so fast, and more. You just see more and more, and you just hear the voices, and they start going past. They're going past. Instantly, I knew what these people. These people were the ones after they got tortured, fornicators. Okay, fornicators, and I thought I saw the torture of the promiscuous women and stuff getting out. These is all fornicators. These is the whole river. It was a whole lava river flowing through hell with these people who just fornicate, people who cheated on their spouses, people who debate, people who watch porn, right? People who pray on little okay? It was like they paraded them, and it flows through hell. It's like a parade of these misfits that just flow through hell.
The biggest sins that you have, because like I said, everybody sins on different spectrums and think it's nothing. It doesn't. No, everything counts. Everything counts, and it's not God, our Father, up there taking a list of you. It also says in the Bible that the flesh will testify against itself. So people, that is real. Your flesh testifies against you. Your flesh, you desires. That's why He always tells us to get away from pleasing our own flesh, because we're going to put ourselves there. The Lord cries. The Lord heart aches for us. Every one of us that go to hell. He does not want that. He does not want that for us at all. It really tears Him apart to see us in that predicament. But it's back to the tortures, unfortunately. That was only one section. And I thought, and that's mind-blowing. That was only one section with the pits. So I thought that, no. And I think the Lord was with me. I don't know if anybody ever had a dream before where you couldn't see the person's face, but you know somebody was there standing with you. I know the Lord was with me, but I never saw Him. But I knew He was the one directing me and protecting me, because these things wanted to eat me and tear me apart. But the second thing I remember is another section of hell. And that's another thing. When you move in hell, there's no really walking around. When He's showing you, it's like you instantaneous. It's like teleportation. When I teleported to this other part of hell, okay, I saw these cells, okay, and I grew up in skyscrapers, uptown Chicago. Grew up on the 16th floor, and these things were taller than that. These things had to be 50 stories tall, and it was a row of them, all the way as your eyes can see, looking up. And they are open old bar cells, and there are people in them. There are people in them. Some of them look like skeletons. Some of them were just burned, like to a crisp, and they're cursing God, and they were just very angry to be there. There was no repentance. There was no asking for another chance. Those are the ones who were just very angry at our Lord. They were very angry. Some of them even started looking like almost a reptilian look because of the hatred coming out of them.
Sobre as pessoas que amaldiçoam Deus e os santos, São João Bosco, quando viu o inferno, abre aspas, ouvia gritos e soluços, blasfêmias e maldições contra os santos. Era um tumulto de vozes e gritos, estridentes e confusos, fecha aspas.
And also I noticed some of them been there for thousands of years. See, that's the thing. People don't understand. Time doesn't exist in eternity. It doesn't. The clock stops. And I realized that. I saw people there who were there 2,000 years, 4,000, and you just know the ancientness of it. I saw all different languages, it doesn't discriminate. The devil doesn't discriminate at all. The whole end point is to get you there. That's it. When I saw those cells, that's when things started to awaken to me. I saw mostly those who were in those cells were people who dabbled in witchcraft, those who dabbled in Santeria, those who dabbled in all kind of tarot cards, those who wanted to know the future and astrology. I just know, like I told you, once you go there, you know. You can just look at a person and you know while you're there. And mostly I saw there was a thing to those people in those cells, and those are the people who worship other gods or the doctrines of demons, what they call also in the scriptures. And what's so terrifying about that is that here, because I have my brush with Santeria, unfortunately growing up, and they promise you everything materialistically, but what they don't tell you is, once you worship these, these demons, now that I know they are, I didn't know that before. They make it seem like they're positive, they're good, they're here to help mankind. The 9 principalities, and they give you all the wealth you want. You do these rituals and stuff, but you don't realize you owe them. And what you owe them is beyond this earth. You're gonna have a spot. They have a spot waiting for you. It reminds me of people who say, well, I didn't know the law. I didn't know, but if you go to court, you will still go to jail. Ignorance is not a way out of it, you all. So I'm just telling you, watch what you do. Watch what you confer, because psychics and all of these mediums and things of that nature, of course, they're going to tell you things that are right on purpose, because they call it familiar spirits, which I saw them ascending and descending from hell. But I will get to that too. But just be careful, you all, playing with witchcraft, any astrology, anything of that nature, because they have a place just in hell for you. And also the Lord told me that this place grows every day. Actually, it's growing by the second. It's like hell is alive. It is a place that it is a dimension that is alive. You can even feel it. The ground of hell, it moves in waves. It's like a wave. You can feel it under your feet. It's as if, it's like kind of like breathing, but I wouldn't consider it breathing. But it just had a component the same way the darkness has. It was alive.
Santa Teresa de Ávila, que morreu em 1582, teve uma breve visão do inferno. Ela disse, abre aspas, o solo era uma lama suja, cheia de répteis imundos. À distância, no muro, havia uma cavidade escavada como um nicho, e nela senti-me apertada. E o que então sofri excede toda a imaginação humana. Nem parece possível dar uma ideia, porque são coisas indescritíveis. Fecha aspas.
These, it was rocks coming out of the pit, and they were so hot, they were turning white. They piping hot, orange, white, and they start plopping out.
A sua descrição das pedras brancas que saíam da fossa corresponde à visão de São João Bosco. Abre aspas. Toda a caverna, paredes, teto, chão, ferro, pedras, madeira e carvão, tudo era de um branco incandescente a uma temperatura de milhares de graus. No entanto, o fogo não incinerava, não consumia. Simplesmente não consigo encontrar palavras para descrever o horror da caverna. Fecha aspas.
But as I fall and I see this portal, it looked like an old cave, like I'm entering an old cave system.
Dominic descreve como os demônios torturam as almas condenadas, o que também corresponde às visões de Drythian e de São João Bosco. A visão de Drythian diz, abre aspas, os espíritos malignos que os arrastavam desceram para o meio da fossa ardente. À medida que iam descendo, eu já não conseguia distinguir entre o lamento dos homens e o riso dos demônios, mas ainda tinha um som confuso nos ouvidos. Enquanto isso, alguns dos espíritos das trevas subiram do abismo flamejante. Correndo para a frente, atacaram-me por todos os lados. Com seus olhos flamejantes e o fogo nojento que exalavam das suas bocas e narinas, tentavam asfixiar-me. Depois ameaçaram me agarrar com as pinças de fogo que tinham nas mãos. Fecha aspas. Dominic descreve o barulho constante e horripilante do inferno.
But just to hear the roar, and it was kicking up these hot coals and rocks, and the demons would come, and they would drag the people with these hot coals and rocks, and they would stroke it in their face. And it would just, you could hear the muffle, and it would just, they would just melt their whole face off. The torture there feeds these demons. So the more grotesque they can torture you, the more power that they get. they get food off of it. They get high off torturing. They get high off your misery and pain there. That is their food. So they get very creative in torturing you, and it is no negotiation. There, I hear a lot of please stop. I hear a lot of regret. I hear a lot of it's just the noise. The noise is never stop, non-stop, and it just screams and screams and screams.
Isso corresponde à visão de Tyndale, que afirma, abre aspas, como era hediondo o barulho do inferno.
But when they speak to each other and they're laughing, you can clearly hear and understand what they're saying. Okay, and a lot of them were laughing and just calling us stupid. They were laughing and calling us stupid, naive, ignorant, basic. Like they would the name that they call us, but it was in their language, but you can still understand it. But when they speak, it hurts you. It feels, you can feel the pain. That's why I do not like the curse. That's why it's called a curse word. See, all of that stuff comes from hell, and people need to realize this. We have been born into a spiritual war, and a lot of things that we think that are small really are huge. Okay, a lot of these things come from hell. Just like I noticed the way some of these things were walking. Okay, they're very deformed. Some of these demons are so grotesque. Hollywood can't do them justice. Hollywood can't replicate the way some of these things look, the way they feel, smell, talk, sound, and some of them walk. Their legs are so deformed, like some of them look like animal hybrid type things, but their legs are twisted sideways. Some of them don't have regular legs. Some of their legs are so backwards with the forward abdomen, but their legs, like the bottom of the buttocks is in front of them, right? So when they walk, it looks very creepy. It looks weird, and I noticed some of these dances that these people do, these modern dances that they do these days, that's how they walk. It's hard to explain. I noticed, that's why I said this has to come from hell. When I catch a glimpse of a certain video or look at certain people, the way they move and dance, that's the same way some of these demonic things walk and glide around. It is creepy. It is beyond explanation.
A sua afirmação de que os demônios se riem enquanto torturam as almas condenadas corresponde à visão de Drythiam. Abre aspas. Ouvi atrás de mim o som de uma lamentação poderosa e miserável, e ao mesmo tempo risos ruidosos, como o tumulto de uma multidão rude insultando inimigos capturados. Quando esse ruído, cada vez mais nítido, se aproximou de mim, vi uma multidão de espíritos malignos arrastando 5 almas de homens, lamentando e gritando para o meio da escuridão, enquanto eles próprios exultavam e riam. Fecha aspas. Ele também declarou, conforme citamos, à medida que iam descendo, eu já não conseguia distinguir entre o lamento dos homens e o riso dos demônios. Ele descreve o rio ou lago de fogo no inferno, que, como é óbvio, também é mencionado nas escrituras.
But it's lava and it flows all through. And from what I know now, it flows, it's like a river in hell. It's a river in hell that flows all through, and it goes through. And there are boatloads of people with the current, riding this current in hell.
Ele descreve o profundo arrependimento no inferno.
Talking, screaming, full of regret. That's the one thing I want to let people know. Take care of everything you have to take care of now, because in hell, the most thing I was hearing was regret. That some people were asking for a minute to be back on earth, 5 minutes. Can I, just give me one more chance. I want to do it right this time, please. That's all you hear. That's all you hear is regret. That's it. And the regret and the pain is so bad just to hear the regret. It hurts.
Sabedoria capítulo 5, abre aspas. Logo nós nos extraviamos do caminho da verdade. A luz da justiça não raiou para nós, e o sol do entendimento não nasceu para nós. Cansamo-nos nas sendas da iniquidade e da perdição. Andamos por desertos sem caminhos. Ignoramos a via do Senhor. De que nos aproveitou a soberba? De que nos serviu a riqueza com a jactância? Todas estas coisas passaram como sombra, como uma notícia que corre veloz. Eis o que os pecadores dirão no inferno. Acreditamos que Dominic, que por sua própria admissão viveu uma vida má, recebeu uma graça especial de ver o inferno para que ele e outros pudessem se beneficiar disso. No entanto, o erro que algumas pessoas cometem é pensar que, pelo fato de terem recebido uma graça especial para reconhecerem uma verdade, ou para mudarem de uma certa forma, estão imediatamente onde deveriam estar, ou que entendem tudo sobre o cristianismo. Não, o fato de lhe ter sido dada esta graça de ver como é o inferno, não significa que ele compreenda tudo sobre o cristianismo ou sobre o inferno. É preciso antes procurar com humildade a verdade plena que se encontra no verdadeiro catolicismo tradicional, como explica o nosso material. É isso que é necessário para a salvação. As pessoas devem consultar o nosso website, igrejacatólica.org, e os nossos vídeos para obterem informações sobre o que precisam de saber e fazer para serem salvas. Recomendamos também que as pessoas, se puderem, rezem 15 dezenas do rosário todos os dias e Ave Maria com frequência. Jó 10, abre aspas. Antes que vá para não mais tornar a esta vida terrena, para aquela terra tenebrosa e coberta de escuridão e morte, terra de misérias e de trevas, onde habita a sombra da morte, e onde não há nenhuma ordem, mas um sempiterno horror.
But once you pass those gates, it's done. The sentence is done.